Hi friends, it's Ashley and welcome back to the channel. In today's video we're going to be going through my reading journal setup for this year 2026. And so I'm just going to be continuing to journal in the reading journal that I started last year. And I got this journal from Amazon. And last year I did journal a little bit, but not super consistently. So one of my goals for this year is try to be more consistent because it is something that I really do enjoy doing. It's just that I don't make time for it. I don't prioritize it. So I want to try to make it more of a priority this year. So the first page that I did was a title page for 2026. And for this page and for like these beginning spreads in my journal, I went with a star theme. And so I kept this page rather simple. I just used some washi tape for the edges and some stickers. And I also included a quote on here from A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J Maas. And I've actually only read the first book in the series, but thought that worked really well with my star theme that I have going on here. And then the next page I ended up doing was my 10 anticipated YA fantasy books that are coming out in 2026. And I did spread for them in here so I can keep track of when they're coming out, and I also want to be able to check them off after I read them because my goal is by the end of the year to have read all of these. And so for this one I went with kind of like a pirate star theme. And then the next spread that I did was my 10 anticipated romantasy books. So I also did a video talking about these. And so here they are, and again, like the previous spread, I just put them all on here and put their release dates in a little box for me to check them off after I read them. And the theme for this one was like purple stars. And then my next spread that I did was my anticipated cozy fantasy books. So like the previous two spreads, I have 10 cozy fantasy books that I really want to read that are coming out this year. And for this one, I went with like a forest green theme. And this next spread is my anticipated sequels that are coming out this year in 2026. So like the previous spreads, I have all the covers on here, except some covers haven't been revealed yet. So for those, I just have an empty space for the book. And then the next spread I did was my bookshelf books read spread. So these, I feel like I see other people do these in their reading journals and they always look really nice and elaborate. And so I had to do one in my reading journal, but like this spread, I kind of tried doing it a little bit because I don't have many drawing skills. My drawing skills are very limited, but I'm actually pretty happy with how this turned out in the end. And I especially love like my little fox who is sleeping on the windowsill. So for this spread, as I read books this year, I'll color in the spines and write the title on the books. And I do have a little color code down here. So pink is physical books I own, blue is going to be ebooks, purple is library books because I want to continue to borrow books from the library this year, and green is audiobooks. And then the next spread I did was my 5-star reads page. So the idea for this is every time I have a 5-star read, I'm going to put it on this spread. And I had this idea where I wanted to cut out stars from construction paper and stick them on here. So then I can write the title of the book on one of the stars if it's a 5-star read. And so I figured if I do end up like having more 5-star reads and stars that are on this page, I'll just double up the titles on each star. I'm actually really happy with how this page turned out. And then my next spread I did was monthly favorites. So this one is kind of similar to the previous spread where this one will have my favorite books from each month, and the idea is that I'll put a picture of the book cover on this page for each month. So by the end of the year, I'll have my favorite books from each month on here. And then my next spread after that I did was my books pre-ordered spread. So for this one, I wanted to do this spread so I can keep track of books that I pre-order, because I do like to pre-order books during Barnes & Noble's pre-order sales if I know it's a book that I'm going to be reading this year. And usually I do that months in advance, so this way I can keep track of that and not forget about any that I pre-ordered. And then the next spread I did was my books purchase spread. So this is kind of similar to my pre-order spread, but here I'll be putting the books that I purchased throughout the year just so I can keep track of how many I buy and also to make sure I read them in a timely manner. And then speaking of reading books in a timely fashion, my next page is my books read and ratings page. And I kept this one rather simple because it's going to be taken up by pictures of book covers and their ratings. And for this one, I did multiple pages of this same spread because I knew I would need a lot of space. And then the last spread I have here is my series Continued and Finished spread, because one of my reading goals for this year is to continue more series that I'm in the middle of, because I am in the middle of so many series. I don't know how many exactly because I haven't taken the time yet to figure that out, but I know it's a lot. And so I made this page to remind myself and encourage myself to continue and finish the series I'm in the middle of.